Good morning. Welcome to the Treasure Coast Unitarian Universalist Congregation in Stuart, Florida. Today is December 3rd, 2023. I am Pat Birt, and I am your worship associate today. We are a welcoming congregation. We welcome people of all gender identities, ethnicities, ages, and backgrounds. We are also on YouTube. To be put on our mailing list or to find out more information about us, go to our website at tcuuc.org. Note the email link to request our Friday online newsletter. Visitors? Any visitors today?
Yes, my friend Secret is visiting from Carroll. We go back about 50 years.
Wow. That's a long time back. Welcome, Sigrid. If you feel comfortable, you can step up to the mic and introduce yourself, or if you project, you can do it from there.
We're Bob and Gail from Annapolis, Maryland. We're here for the wisher, and know the Falks from Annapolis and over there. So.
Fantastic. Welcome. Any other visitors today? Well, in case you might have noticed, especially those of you who know Bill from back in Annapolis, you'll notice that I'm up here by myself. And that's because as I was pulling into my parking place a little bit ago, I got a phone call from a very sick congregation president, Bill Falk. So we're going to get through this together. A couple of announcements. Please see your printed order of worship for some that I won't mention. But I do want to call your attention to a special event that I just found out about. There will be a bake sale here Sunday after the service as a time to share and fundraise on Sunday, December 17th. December 17th. So please plan to bring your favorite goodie and stock up for your Christmas visitors, like I plan to do. Another thing that happens twice a month on the first and third Tuesdays, always deserves special attention, is our brown bag lunch at Veterans Park in Stuart at 12 noon, first and third Tuesdays. We're in the extreme southeast corner of the park with a parking area behind the dilapidated Shuffleboard Club building. If you're geographically challenged, you can see me after the service and I'll give you a map. Next Sunday, Reverend John Brown will be in the pulpit. A big thanks to those who helped us with today service. Jackie Buckley, so sweetly greeting everyone as they come in. Jackie Robbins and Judy Bajoris, our accompaniers on piano and cello, our greeters, our host, our YouTube host and on-the-wall host, Corina Poloni, our tech support, Rachel Valentino, and Marguerite Gregory, and helpers for the coffee and snacks in our social hall after. Our board president was to be in the pulpit today. Many of you know about Bill's background, but some of you may not. He had served in the Army Security Agency, a forerunner of the NSA, for 3 years before attending North Texas University. And then he worked as an urban planner for the city of Dallas before going back to school for his PhD in sociology at Texas A&M. After graduation, he joined the sociology faculty at LSU, where he became a full professor. He then joined the sociology faculty at the University of Maryland as professor and retired chair. After serving almost 20 years, he was asked to be the acting chair of the African American Studies Department, which he had always had as an affiliate appointment. For his entire professional career, Bill wrote and taught about the contemporary South. His long-suffering wife, Geraldine, and he have been married for 57 years. and they had joined the UU Church years ago in 1976 in Baton Rouge. Our chalice lighting words today. This is fun. This first Sunday in December is the beginning of the time of year when light isn't just symbolic or a nice idea, it's essential for dog walking in the early evening and a reminder of all the sources of warmth we can be for each other. May this chalice, the symbol of our UU faith, light your way through the long nights and into and through the joys and sometimes sorrows of the Advent season. My opening words, you'll see, have a special meaning now that Bill's not here, because you're going to help me continue this. If you grew up in a Protestant or Catholic home like I did, these early December days bring memories of excitement and happiness. If you grew up in some non-Christ-centered framework, then maybe not. But for someone like me, enrolled in the Middletown Methodist Church cradle roll at birth, the beginning of December marked the most exciting time of the year. When else could the combination of expecting gifts, shopping for gifts to give, caroling followed by hot chocolate, special family visits, holiday meals, extra candy, days off school, snow, maybe, picking out a Christmas tree, decorating it, Secret Santas, nativity pageants, choral programs, etc. all happened within a few weeks. But that was then and now is now. If I'm completely honest, I have to admit I do miss the excitement a little bit. And it wouldn't be fair to blame that on UUism or old age. So this year I'm going to try to pick out a memory from the past to keep alive, even if it's just trying extra hard to find the difficult to find special ingredients of my mother's delicious ham loaf. Maybe you can think of a fond memory you'd like to revive. If you do, I'd love to hear it. Our first hymn will have us standing, if willing or able. Page, I'm sorry, I did it again. The prelude. I'm so sorry. What is it with me? I always think it's going to come out.
We're going to have a little prelude music.
Sorry. The
And
prelude.
the translation of Havinu Shalom Aleichem is, "We bring you peace." And I know there are an awful lot of people who are interfaith marriages out there, so this tune may strike a chord with some of you. And you're welcome to sing along. And I know you know it because you've seen Flashbox do it. Hanukkah's coming up, just thought I'd give you a little taste. Oh, Joy, sorry.
Our first hymn, stand if you would like, is number 346, Come Sing a Song With Me, verses 1, 2, and 4. And while you're at it, the other thing I forgot was to remind you to silence these things. Come sing a song with me. Come sing a song with me. Come sing a song with me, that I might know your mind. And I'll bring you hope when hope hope is hard to find, and I'll bring a song of love and a rose in the winter time. Come dream a dream with me. Come dream a dream with me. Come dream a dream with me, that I might know your mind. And I'll bring you hope when hope is hard to find. And I'll bring a song of love and a rose in the winter time. Come share a rose with me. Come share a rose with me. Come share a rose with me, and a melody might know your mind. And I'll bring you hope, and hope is hard to find. And I'll bring a song of love and a rose in the winter time. Thank you. Please be seated. Let us recite our affirmation, speaking the first verse and singing the second. Love is the spirit of this church, and service is its law. To dwell together in peace, to seek the truth in love, and to help one another. From all that dwell beneath the skies, let faith and hope and love arise. Let beauty, truth, and good be sung from every land, by every tongue. Amen. Judy, would you be willing to do the stones? Now it's time for our joys and sorrows. If you have something special you'd like to share from us, that's on your heart, either for joy reasons or sorrowful reasons, please step up to the mic now and share it with us. Please speak your name first.
Ronnie Dombowski, and Fred Dombowski again is not with me because he is still in bed since Thanksgiving morning with a bulging disc, because he finally went to the doctor, that's hitting a nerve, and now he has to have more tests and maybe surgery. So please think about him. And I have an announcement that I'm not allowed to say now, but if you guys would like a Christmas tree here, we have that poinsettia tree, but yeah, somebody has to put it up. So if somebody wants to put it up, we'll have it, and if you don't, we won't.
Are we going to do the poinsettia gatherings?
Also, if you'd like to bring in real poinsettias, we usually have them here too.
Are we going to start those on a certain Sunday or just any time from now on?
Anytime from now on.
Okay. We probably want them to be in some kind of waterproof saucer or something.
Sure, put them in a waterproof saucer. We used to have a bunch, but I don't know if we do anymore.
Yeah. Okay. Tia.
One of these Sundays you'll get by without hearing from me, but not yet. I'm Tia. I'm here with a sorrowish joy. Deb and whole crew got off safely. They got to spend 2 days at Barkwell, so they got to actually relax in a luxury thing. But they made it to Willow Grove, Pennsylvania last night. So now the work begins. So the other sorrowish joy is that we got to speak, all of us, with Ann Nazawa on Tuesday, something like that. At any rate, while we were all together. And she's sometimes lucid still. She thinks she's already 94, so she thinks she's already hit the December 7th, but that's what her daughter is hoping, that she'll make it till December 7th. And since Bob is not here, I'm going to risk it and make an announcement,
I won't tell.
which is that this coming weekend, the Treasure Coast Community Singers are doing their Christmas performance, and St. Mary's is all sold out, but so all of you who will want to flock to the performance will have to go up to Fort Pierce to the McAlpin Theater, which should be a beautiful place, on Saturday. So,
Thanks, Tia. Anyone else? Okay, good.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Barney Miller Moore, and I just wanted to tell you that I had a birthday. So did Pat, on the same day, because we're the birthday twins.
Happy birthday.
And
birthday.
my husband went all out. If you have not ridden Bright Lines and you aren't averse to it, it's a really nice ride.
It is.
And so we went to Fort Lauderdale and acted like teenagers. It was great.
Yeah, yes. Happy birthday. It's even better if you're going all the way to a Heat game in Miami. Okay. Anyone else? For those joys or sorrows that are too private to share, please know that our hearts are with you today. Please remain seated for Spirit of Life. I'm waiting. We're going to hum the first verse, and then we'll sing the same verse through. To me, sing in my heart all the stirrings of compassion, blow in the wind, rise in the sea, move in the hand, giving life the shape of justice. Roots hold me close, wings set me free. Spirit of life, come to me, come to me. Bill would never forgive me if I skipped the next part of our service. It's our time to express our generosity. It's not a gift for the sermon you should have received. It is support for this loving community. I now need 2 volunteers.
And I'll never forgive you.
And, oh, right, our treasurer will never forgive you. Forgive me. Jackie, and thank you all for your generosity. In lieu of Bill's sermon on it's time for the war on Christmas, we're going to make peace. So once again, using this mic, I wish that at least a handful of people, or as many as wish, would come up briefly and share a favorite Christmas memory, keeping in mind that our Christmases do not look like this. It's the front page of a special section in today's Stuart Sunday News. But if your Christmases did look like that, it might be nice to hear about that as well. Anybody willing to share a favorite Christmas memory? Oh, thank you. And Carolyn, I wanted to tell you specifically how good it is to see your face again. Every time I drive past your street, going down the road, I miss you.
Well, I don't like getting up early in the morning.
Former
Well,
teacher.
I give you a little background. When I was a younger woman, I had a big dog, half greyhound, half Labrador retriever. My parents had a corgi named Wallace, and I had a cat named Lucy. Well, it was Christmas dinner, and normally the pets were on the floor under the table, to catch anything that might fall. My parents had a pocket door between the kitchen and the dining room, and the pocket door was closed. And sort of into the meal, we noticed that the pets weren't under the table. So we opened the pocket door, and my dog had gotten the turkey off the countertop, and all three of them were eating it. And the corgi and the cat said, "We don't know anything about it," and they walked away. My dog said, "They told me you wouldn't have left it where we could get it if you didn't want us to have it." And that's been one of my favorite Christmas memories for forever.
Was there, oh, thank you, Carol. Oh, God. Is there anything better than a dog story? I don't know. I had sort of a similar experience, only it was Cornish hens, and the dog only got one. But how do you divide Cornish hens? One for each person. Oops, somebody's a vegetarian all of a sudden. Oh, good. Judy's going to tell us. You have to bring your water, we might have to get.
But I'm reminded of dog stories. Very briefly, my boxer used to eat the poinsettias.
Oh.
They say they're poison. Yeah, he's.
No, it's supposed to be an old wives' tale.
Okay, but the story is about when I was about 5 years old. I think I was. We spent Christmas in Mexico City, and we're in a hotel room, and of course Mexico City is gorgeous at Christmas. So I still remember that first impression. Lights all over the place in the Zócalo, and it's just amazing. But we were in a hotel room, and my parents bought a piñata, because that was the typical thing to do. And so we broke that open on Christmas morning, and I remember there was a little baby in a bathtub, this super cheap plastic little thing that I guess they'd picked up at the market, and a note from Santa. And the note from Santa said, "Judy, you weren't home, so I left your bicycle in the Downey's garage next door." So I still remember that, especially because my mother would remind me that all the drive back to Corpus Christi, Texas from Mexico City, I recited that letter from Santa over and over and over again. "Dear Judy, you weren't at home, so I left your bicycle in the Downey's garage." So that's my story.
Oh, that's wonderful. Oh, Stan, good. Stan's got a good one. I just know this is going to be good. Please say your name first, too, in case.
My name is Stan Forrester. When we moved to Florida in 2013, we ended up in a rather small place. We had anticipated that one of our teenagers would be moving out soon, and so we got one less room than we actually needed. And poor Al there ended up sleeping in what would have been the dining room. So we tried to make it as homey as we could. But that meant that Al had a view of where the Christmas tree was. And Al was so excited that Al couldn't go to sleep. He kept coming to us and says, if I don't go to sleep, Santa won't come. I said, oh, just calm down. You'll go to sleep. You'll go to sleep. I'm like, when is this kid going to go to sleep? Al did not sleep that night and was very upset. And I woke up because I had fallen asleep. And I said, well, you know, Santa always comes. I bet you Santa hid all the presents someplace else. Well, so because I hadn't had a chance to move them from the parents' closet. So we started at the opposite end of the house, and we searched every closet and every drawer and everything like that. And the last place was, of course, our closet. And they found the presents then. So that's...
Oh, good. Another memory. This memory can't be from too far back.
You know me too well. Hello, I'm Alistair Forster, the one that story was about. I'll share something a little more recent since that one was an older memory. This was last Christmas, I believe. This was also the first Christmas that I had a part once my parents had gotten divorced. But Rachel, my mother's girlfriend, had gifted me something a little bit unexpected. It was Axe deodorant, which sounds funny, I know, but it showed me that she recognized me for my identity, because that was a male product, and she was basically telling me that she recognized me and she recognized what I was going through, and I really appreciated that. And
Wow. That. How important something seemingly small can be. John?
One of the wonderful things about a marriage is the joining of two traditions when it comes to holidays and Christmas. And so when I married my wife, it's coming up on 35 years ago, 35. It was wonderful because she had a very close family, and I'm John, by the way, John Warner. And one of their traditions was they had this set of bells, on a little rope, and one of the adults had to go sneak out of the room, grab the bells, and go outside and start ringing the bells, and the kids would run to bed. And it was just a wonderful thing. And it was just wonderful that I got to be the Santa that did that after we joined together. Yeah. Just one other quick thing. When I was 2 to 5, I lived in Germany because my dad was in the Army and he was stationed there. And so there's always been kind of in my mind, the legend of Christmas is kind of German, as I'm sure yours is Mexican. And I'm very excited because next Saturday we're leaving for a river cruise, a Christmas markets cruise in Germany and Austria, and so that's just gonna, that's gonna really fulfill that memory for me.
Wow. Okay. Come on. Thanks, Jackie. You may be the only third person here that knows how to do that. Okay, Bob.
Okay, I'm Bob Niemkemper, and I got some holiday stories to tell you. When it was Thanksgiving, I was from a single parent family, and we had a little Sheltie dog named Heller, and this dog was from a litter. Just all the Heller family named all the dogs after the characters in MASH, and this was the only female dog, so it was Heller's Hot Lips Houlihan. little Heller would sit there, and we had a little kind of a modern oven with a little glass viewing thing in front, and Heller would stare at that turkey all day, just sit there and stare at that turkey cooking. So when it came Christmas time, we got to go out. So here I am, a little tyke, and we were poor, and we went downtown on the city bus. And so we were going to eat at this Forum cafeteria, but before that, we'd always go to Famous and Bar, which is a big May department store. And at that time, here I am in this little aviator's hat with the flaps down over my ears, and I guess I look like a little dark, but what the heck. And we went down there, and there I put my nose up against the window of those department stores, and at that time my nose was little, if you can believe it. And I'd watch the little train go around, and my eyes would get this big, and I would look at Santa Claus and watch the movements and all of this, and dearly loved it. And then we walked a couple blocks and went to this Forum cafeteria, and I got my stuffed peppers that I dearly love. So that was my Christmas and
Big
holiday
Christmas.
time.
Thanks so much, Bob. It's amazing how simple memories can be and how important they can be. Yeah. Go for it, Ronnie.
Well, I didn't have Christmas because I was raised Jewish. But every Christmas, I would tell my mother if she didn't put up a tree that I was marrying a Christian so that I could have a Christmas tree. Finally, my mother didn't give in with a tree, but we had a fireplace, and she let us hang a stocking. And what did she put in it? Fruit. Apples and oranges. And then underneath, finally, she would put a little teeny present. Now, you always hear that Jewish families have all those days of Hanukkah. This is falling over. And that's true, but traditionally, you don't get a big present every day like you get all these big presents at Christmas. You get, like one day I would get crayons. The next day I'd get the coloring book. And then at the very last day, there was one big present. So I did marry twice, and both times they were Catholic, and now I always have a Christmas tree.
Memories.
Hi, I'm Tia again, and that's my sister sitting back there. And our family tradition. Okay. I can hold it. Our family tradition was that Santa Claus brought the tree and all the gifts after we went to bed at night,
yes.
which meant that my parents were up way late into the night. And that meant that they wanted to sleep in the morning. So we got really stuffed stockings that had funny comic books and puzzles and fruit and things to do to keep us busy so that Mom and Dad could sleep a little bit longer than we wanted them to. And then as each of us got old enough to know that who it was that brought the Christmas tree, that person got to stay up and help Santa Claus. So it wasn't very long between Judith and me. She probably told me, but it was 6 years between me and the next one, Susie. So we were all doing it, so it didn't take quite so long for her to have Christmas laid out for her. Then a slightly more recent one. When I was single, before I got married, my parents came down and spent Christmas with me one time, and I had bought a lot of little red wooden apples. They had little points on the bottom, and they had strings. You're supposed to hang them on the tree. If you hang them on the tree, the branch would weigh down. But I woke up Christmas morning, and there is my father on the floor in his red robe, sitting there on his hands and knees, trying to get as many of these going like tops as possible. So he got a lot of them going. So I started buying him tops that I would give him for Christmas and birthday. And so had to be different ones. So by the time he died, he had a big collection, which of course I still have. So that was a lovely memory, seeing him in his red robe with all the little red apples.
Thank you, Tia. Oh, okay. Maybe we'll have another Pennsylvania memory.
I just wanted to say that my name's Regina, that our family did the same thing. My parents, they nothing. The tree wasn't up. They did everything after we went to bed at night. And my dad believed that, the tinsel, remember the tinsel?
Yeah.
Put the tinsel on and you put it on one at a time.
Yeah, none of this throwing stuff.
I used to do it. And I always, and when I moved down here and we had our own trees, I did that for a long time, and then finally one year my husband said, you don't have to you don't have to put that on, and it was like, okay. So we stopped it, but it's funny, I had to say that because that was our family too, they did everything at night,
Yes.
Before.
Yes. Okay. Well, if there are more, and probably there are more, everyone has a memory of Christmas. We typically do this kind of thing, I think, if we have a Christmas Eve service here, which I imagine we might have something like that this year. So with that, we'll thank everyone who shared, and those who didn't, keep your memory warm, and we'll hear it later. Our final hymn, please stand if able and willing, is This Little Light of Mine, all 3 verses. Yeah, 118. This little... Jackie is so patient with me. I even had a big star by Prelude this time.
I didn't get a
Oh. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Building up a world, I'm gonna let it shine. Building up a world, I'm gonna let it shine. Building up a world, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Please be seated. I don't know what Bill's closing words would have been, but I am certainly grateful for this very understanding, loving, and supportive group of people. And with that, we'll close today and enjoy our gathering in Fellowship Hall. And we're going to have a postlude.
From J.S. Bach.
Yeah, on YouTube. I don't know. He was very, very ill and was thinking of heading for an emergency room. But he can replay it, I guess. Yes. Right. Yes, I'm sure. Thank you.